When I first arrived in Korea, it was all excitement. First, before coming to Korea, I had been in Dubai. Korea was new compared to the country I had been to, like Dubai, the situation. It was very, very beautiful. I was also intrigued by the level of development within a short time. Let me say the rate of development, because the development was great within a very short time. I wanted to be part of that development. I wanted to be part of that advancement. I wanted to be part of this technological. So that was one thing that also drove me into coming to Korea, picking Korea as a choice. Korea is a very beautiful country, that I must say, and it's a country you would definitely desire to live in, maybe raise a family. So one thing is about the visa. It comes in with every thought about living in Korea. You think about the visa. If that is taken care of, then I think so much would have been done in terms of thinking with freedom of how to move in Korea or to live in Korea for a very long time. My name is ㅅ이주노동자 and I am 31 years old. I'm a Cameroonian by birth. I've been in Korea for about 5 years now, and I currently work for ㅅ이주노동자, which is into the shipbuilding. Cameroon first geographically is located in Central Africa. So Cameroon has 10 regions or 10 provinces. In Korea we have provinces. 8 of the 10 provinces are French-speaking, while 2 of the 10 provinces are English-speaking. My study life in Cameroon, when I was young, due to financial challenges, I always attended the public school, which were always cheaper compared to the private school. Very cheap, very cheap. And also my middle school, even though I'm from this government or public elementary school, I wanted to show something that we also are not just like dumb as people say, but then we also have something to offer. And back in in middle school, like the early days or the early years in middle school, I was always the best in math in my class when it comes to mathematics.
폰에는 저번에 엔진룸 쪽에 보온 덜 돼 있지. 그거 좀 해야 되거든. 그거 한 잠깐이면 될 것 같은데 보니까 혼자. 네, 혼자 잠깐 하고, 그 다음에 토크렌치, 프로비전 크레인 토크렌치 같이 찍고, 이제 뭐 탑재하고 막 그런 일이 있으니까 아무래도 이제 중량물을 다루다 보니까 이렇게 선이라든가 이런 거 협착 주의하고. 날씨가 많이 더워. 폰에 카메론보다 많이 덥지?
네, 많이 더워요.
그래?
네.
습도가 높아서 그런 거 아니야?
네, 아니에요.
안 그래?
너무 더워요.
몸은 알아서 잘 챙기고 물 잘 알아서 잘 먹고 그렇게 하게. 자, 오늘도 화이팅하고 지휘관 준비. 안전. 협착 주의 좋아. 협착 주의 좋아. 협착 주의 좋아. 협착 주의 좋아. 안전.
In the morning, we mainly did insulation and the fastening of a crane. On every ship, we have at least 2 cranes, which are used to maybe take baggages or items from outside the ship and onto the ship. So we did the fastening. That was the first thing we did in the morning. So to fasten the boat so as to prevent any accidents or maybe faultiness in the short run. Then later we did pipe insulation, copper pipe insulation. And the copper pipe is for the main air conditioning system for the whole ship, and also the refrigeration system for the whole ship, because each and every ship which we've done so far, at least based on my experience, they all have this cold room, which is where, like the cold store, which is, they have that for the meat, fish, and vegetable. So they all work on this refrigeration system, and all refrigeration system contain copper pipes, and these copper pipes have to be insulated, because if they are not, first, they are being insulated primarily for efficiency, performance, and I think moisture prevention. My major was electrical engineering.
So I was always like intrigued with figures, and also formulas, machines. Also from my young days, I always like we usually for toys we usually make our own toys. Not like today when children have already made toys. We usually make our own toys, and we get them from maybe trashed TVs. Trashed radios. We take some of the parts, and as much as it was all fun getting an old battery and you connect, but then it was building up something in me, that idea of electronics, how electronics work, how electricity works, and growing up instead with the desire of being a mechanical engineer. My stepfather actually talked me out of that. Like, one thing he told me after my high school, about to go into the university, I desired to do mechanical engineering, and he told me mechanical engineers in some few years when you're old, you won't be able to carry everything. But in electrical engineering, you can continue for the rest of your life. And that was how I moved into electricity.
Shipbuilding is beautiful, like I said, but then it's where I'm focused is not like the dream. Sometimes when you're just walking around and you see probably the other companies which are focused on that domain, and sometimes it just takes my breath to just watch all the devices, all the installation. It's really beautiful, but that's not where I am at the moment. I have some published papers, 3 published papers actually, and 2 of them are of really high standards. And working here, sometimes I feel like I'm just like wasting time. Like, I have these skills not just in my field of electricity, but then I have skills in research, thinking, analysis. So I really want to put all these analytical skills into, like, put them all into use. And so in that, I desire to pursue my studies, but it's really expensive, like self-study in Korea, self-sponsor in Korea. So I'm hoping to get a scholarship. I came here by scholarship, by the way. Since training, I got a scholarship. Before coming to Korea, I got a scholarship, the GKS, the Global Korean Scholarship. The scholarship has 2 modes of application, either through the embassy in your country or through the universities. But my country, Cameroon, has just university track. So I came to Korea by that scholarship through Suncheon University. And Suncheon University was recommended to me by my brother-in-law, who was already a student there. And also being around family was something good. It was a good idea. So yeah, that's primarily why I got to Suncheon University. Korea, first I was intrigued about the technological advances. So my focus first was technology. And there's this country which not long ago they were very down and now they are far up. Like, it must be good. Like, the amount of research which is being done in Korea lately is just mind-blowing. And also how much Korea puts into education. It's really amazing. And one thing also I needed was support, especially financially. Like, going to other countries would have required some finance. And some of the scholarships which I saw on other countries or in other countries were mostly not 100%. GKS was 100%, and you also get a stipend, which was really, really encouraging. Coming through the GKS scholarship, you're supposed to study Korean for a year. And not just study, but you have to obtain a certain score, level 3 in the proficiency in the Korean. That's the topic exam. That's like a requirement for you to keep your scholarship. If you don't obtain that level 3 after a year, maybe if you don't obtain the level 3 after a year, you're given another 6 months to try again. And if after a year and 6 months you still don't obtain that, then your scholarship is cancelled and you will have to return to your country. So that was, as much as it was like a recommendation, not the recommendation, but something which we were like forced to do. And mostly as humans, it's common for us to like kick against something that is some way imposed on us. But we fail to understand like how good that is for us, how good it's going to be for us.
맞아, 어깨 안 맞아. 오늘 내가 줘 볼트 좀 해봐. 12개짜리. 왜 그러냐면 이 밸브가 5mm 정도 커. 그러니까 항상 너트를 줘야 다시.
한국에서 지역마다 언어 좀 달라요. 문법도 달라요. 단어 발음이 So learning in Seoul and coming to Suncheon, it was really different. It was just a different world. Like, okay, I've been learning Korean for a year, but then talking to this person is like I've barely learned Korean. So, but then the more you live among them.
어차피 영어도 안 되고 저희가 뭐 한국 사람이 다 영어를 배워도 영어가 안 되지 않습니까? 뭐 이제 자기들이 한국말을 배워주면 고맙고 우리도 간단하게 언어 소통하는데 단어로만 하죠. 그렇기 때문에 이제 정확한 일은 잘 안 되죠. 첫 단계는 꾸준히 쓰는 단어는 아는데 뭐 스패너나 몽키 그런 건 아는데 뭐 산소 때 갖고 오라면 그게 뭔지를 몰라요. 잘 아직까지도. 아직까지 좀 알긴 하는데 처음에는 그랬어요. 제가.
So as much as I was maybe forced into it, it was definitely for the good, because it has actually eased like my life in Korea.
happiest moment?
Happiest moment in today.
The happiest moment is when you're going home. That's the truth.
Now?
Yeah. Yeah. The happiest moment, seriously, is when you're going home. When I get home, first I'll take a shower, then maybe think of what I'm going to eat. Yeah. Then talk with my wife, talk with my family. Then I'm engaged in studying. My life is not going to end here. I have a master's degree in electrical engineering, and also I have some published papers.
So this is what we get from the modulus. We would get the result to be 19, which is just the remainder.
I have to do some more study, I have to create more time, I have to do more research and all those things. Because if I don't do that, then my past work might just become nothing. Might be just, come to waste.
데크하우스 관련 업무를 맡고 있는 유한회사 PMS 성경주 대표입니다. 한참 조선 호황일 때가 1990년도 중반부터 그 다음에 2000년 중반 정도까지 굉장한 호황이었습니다. 조선소 다닌다고 하면 시집 장가도 가기가 쉬울 정도로 사람들한테 이미지도 괜찮았고, 그때 한참 정점을 찍고 다시 내려와서 이 내려오는 과정에 조선소들이 굉장히 많은 구조조정, 그 다음에 뼈를 깎는 원가 절감, 이 어찌됐든 살아남으려고 그러다가 바닥을 찍고 지금 올라가고 있는 상황입니다. 그런데 최소한의 인력도 부족한 상황이 한 7, 8년 정도 된 것 같습니다. 모든 산업이 마찬가지입니다. 대한민국은 외국인 근로자가 없으면 모든 산업이 멈춥니다. 우리 코네가 23년 6월 달에 제 식구가 됐습니다. 전남 태블산업융합원에서 지역 특화형 비자 시범 사업을 할 때 전국에 있는 대학교에 신청서를 모집 공고를 냈었고, 코네가 전라도에서 조선업에서 일을 하고자 해서 신청을 했고,
So it was a little bit difficult for me getting a job back then. And one day, the lady who was in charge of the GKS scholars in Suncheon, she was the one that introduced me to this program actually. She just sent me the information, the pamphlet, and I went through and I saw like, yeah, this is an opportunity, this is direct employment, and also the visa type is very encouraging. Not just do you get to invite your spouse, but then your spouse also gets to work. So it was a very, very big something for me, like a very, very big opportunity which I had to take. Primarily, I needed money, so I had to work. I had to work to earn that money, because after study, immediately you graduate, your scholarship is being cut off, and the money we received as a stipend was just enough for you living in Korea. And also I had siblings back home. I had people who actually looked up to me. I also had, so receiving my stipend was not just for me or for my life in Korea, but I also had to send some back home.
The visa which I have, the F2R visa.
One of the good points, which is probably the best, is that you get to invite your spouse, and your spouse gets to work. That's the most. So that's like the best about it. Then about disappointing is like you're restricted in a certain area. You're supposed to live in a certain area. The shipbuilding industry, which is like the main industry of this region, was some way in need of workers. It was the productivity was not as we have now. Now, about living in this area, it's not even as difficult as the fact that you must work for a particular company for like a period of time, because working for a particular company, like you're somehow when you're restricted to work for a particular company for a period of time, then there is a possibility of you being exploited maybe by the employer, because he knows regardless of what happens, you're supposed to be here. And I've heard some people actually complaining of such, that I just want my time to be off. I just want my time to be off so that I leave this place. So, but giving them that flexibility or that freedom, okay, you can move to this company, or taking off that particular restriction also gives them that, it gives them that freedom, and it takes off that hostility. Also stay on that about this same visa system. When you invite your spouse, or maybe you have children in Korea, they are all tied to your visa as the main person. So as your visa spans, so does their visa spans. Your visa ends, so does their visa end. So let's say you're raising a family in Korea, and one day your visa ends. Like you have children, you have a wife. Like what do you do from there? Maybe all the allowance, maybe everything you've been saving is just gonna be used for transportation and thinking of how to start, and that's really stressful. So one thing is about the visa. It comes in with every thought about living in Korea. You think about the visa. If that is taken care of, then I think so much would have been done in terms of thinking with freedom of how to move in Korea or to live in Korea for a very long time.
D10에서 F12 비자를 선택했는데 이거를 개인적인 생각으로 잘한 선택이라고 생각이 되느냐?
There's always that temptation to think like maybe you would have gotten something else if you just held on to your D10 for a short while, but we never know. So far it's been good. My wife is here. My wife is allowed to work even though she hasn't gotten a job. So yeah, it's good. And also the experience, the life, the work, the views every day, it's been good.
How far you wanna go? Staying up late now, we're all alone. How far you wanna go? If you're honest with yourself. How far you wanna go? Staying up late now, we're all alone. How far you wanna go? If you're honest with yourself.